Good morning. My name is Christina, and on behalf of our pastors and our Board of Trustees, we welcome you to the Andrew Jackson Davis Educational Building for our Sunday service. At this time, we just want to remind you that it is mandatory to wear a mask. Those who are speaking may choose not to wear one, and we also do not allow personal recordings of this or other services. Thank you. We now ask you to make sure your cell phones are turned off. And to begin our service, Terry Abad will light 3 candles symbolizing the unity of body, mind, and spirit. We should have given you a practice run with that, right? Good job. Thank you. And I'd like to ask our pastor, Reverend Louis Gates, to come up for a moment.
Just want to make a little bit of an announcement. We are getting ready to move back into the church this Tuesday at 1 o'clock. These are the people online too, the ones that are close. If you would like to meet at the church, we need to move some very large pews without scratching the floor. So if you happen to be in town at 1 o'clock on Tuesday to help move the pews, that'll be awesome. Many hands make less work for us. But we should be back in the church by August. We're hoping the later part of July, but probably have the grand opening by sometime in August. But we should be back in the church sometime in July, hopefully. We're hoping. So things are getting there. So we just got to get the pews moved. So if you can help, you can help. And women too, guys. You guys are strong. Just grab hold of the pew. There's got 10 of us on the pew. We can get it moved very quickly. Thank you.
That's exciting. Please rise as you are able for our invocation. And take an attitude of prayer, please. Father, Mother God, let the light of truth shine in us during this Sunday service and keep us connected with love. Amen. Please be seated. Located in your bulletin, actually on the back, are our declarations of principles. Please join with me in reciting them. We believe in infinite intelligence. We believe that the phenomena of nature, both physical and spiritual, are the expression of infinite intelligence. We affirm that a correct understanding of such expression and living in accordance therewith constitute true religion. We affirm that the existence and personal identity of the individual continue after the change called death. We affirm that communication with the so-called dead is a fact, scientifically proven by the phenomena of spiritualism. We believe that the highest morality is contained in the Golden Rule. Whatsoever ye would that others should do unto you, do ye also unto them. We affirm the moral responsibility of the individual and that he makes his own happiness or unhappiness as he obeys or disobeys nature's physical and spiritual laws. We affirm that the doorway to reformation is never closed against any human soul, here or hereafter. We affirm that the precepts of prophecy and healing contained in the Bible are divine attributes proven through mediumship. And the healing prayer is also in our bulletin. Please recite that with me. I ask the great unseen healing force to remove all obstructions from my mind and body and to restore me to perfect health. I ask this in all sincerity and honesty, and I will do my part. I ask this great unseen healing force to help both present and absent ones who are in need of help and to restore them to perfect health. I put my trust in the love and power of God. Now, for those of you who wish to receive spiritual healing, please go to the next available healer. Healers are sanitizing their hands after each person in case you have concerns. While the healers work, the rest of us will join in a guided meditation. Let your body find a comfortable position. Let your eyes fall closed and take a very deep, very slow belly breath. Release all stressful energy with your exhale. Inhale and fill your lungs. Exhale, become more relaxed. Observe the sacred space that now surrounds you. Gaze at the pure white love light all around you. Feel your light spread out to touch your neighbor's sacred space. And feel it spread out to fill the room with all that is love, all that is light, all that is peace. We're now going to journey into the woods on a chilly, dark night. You are perfectly safe and perfectly protected. Observe the pine trees all around you, standing guard with their strong green limbs. And see a nice lake in front of you that is frozen on the top. And hear the ground crackle under your feet as you walk among the pines. Your nose is a little cold and you feel wonderful, alive, brisk, and present. The chill in the air sharpens your senses. Be in the stillness. You may hear sounds that you've never heard before. You see wonderful things that you've never seen before with your physical vision and your inner vision. Explore them. In this darkness, in this stillness, a picture or a word, an idea or a solution may come to you, an answer to a problem that is on your mind. You may perceive a remedy for something that is causing you discomfort. Cures for all of those things are here. And if you are looking for an answer to a problem, open up. It is here. Examine the new insights and be assured that they have found lodging with you in the safety of the pines. Let your thoughts now go to a place of gratitude in the darkness and the clarity of the chilly air. Send your thoughts out and bring into your awareness the energy of life beneath your feet in the cold ground. Feel your connection with the seeds sleeping in the soil, gathering strength and storing nourishment for their coming appearance on earth. Feel the connection with the seeds of your life preparing to blossom in good health, in prosperity, and your own vibrancy. In the safety of the dark and the cold, new healthy life is getting ready to appear. Breathe deeply and fully, and completely exhale. Bring your awareness now to the golden spot that is glowing in your chest. Feel it actually warming you, providing inner heat. Sense this golden sphere expanding inside of you. Feeling its golden rays reaching up like an inner sun to touch your head, your heart, and the rest of your body, all the way down to your feet. It fills you with warmth and comfort. Inhale and swirl the energy around inside, the healing energy, the warm energy. Feel your hands and feet tingle with warmth as you stand surrounded by the pine trees near the lake in the dark and chilly air. Reflect this inner golden glow, this halo of warmth, this nurturing heat that is inside of you. Reflect it outside of you. Feel the sphere of comforting, healing heat moving down and around you, encircling your body in a cocoon of warmth. Know that you are safe, and that the healing powers of both the heat and the cold offer you balance and wholeness. You are safely rooted into the ground, and your spirit is free. Know that being in the stillness brings healing, and the golden light penetrates any place, inside or outside, with healing energy. Now take a very deep breath and feel alert and relaxed. Feel safe. Take a deep breath and say thank you to Infinite Spirit for this feeling and knowing of safety and stillness. Take another breath and send love and light to anyone about whom you are concerned. Take a very deep breath and send love to all of humanity. And with your next breath, come back to our room. Feel your body in the chair, and your awareness is expanding to be fully present. And when you are ready, you can open your eyes. We'd like to thank our healers for sharing their gift of healing. Marie Gates, Lori Carter, and Pastor Louis Gates. Thank you very much. If you have received a healing resulting in a correction or improvement, please complete this little yellow card in the back of the temple. They're on a little table back there, and give it to the pastor at the back of the temple, or mail it to us, if you would, please. So here's the fun part. Introducing our guest speaker, Robin. Robin has been a member of spiritualism since the late 80s, early 90s, and became a mediumship and healing student in 1991. When life got complicated, because we all can relate to that, right? In 2007, she was certified mediumship, or in 2007, she was certified mediumship and currently serves as a level 4 healing student. Her career of 30 years, like in the real world, right? Technical help desk support, senior management, project management, all kind of very highly technical, intellectual, cerebral type things, right? But she and her husband moved to Lake Helen 5 years ago after her husband retired, and being much closer to the camp allowed her to participate and study and serve even more. And if she looks familiar, she worked in the bookstore for about a year and has been the administrative assistant for our camp for about 2 years. And she considers it a blessing to work for the camp and all of you, our entire community, as a part of her life and self-healing for so long. Please welcome Robin.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. That was a really lovely meditation, by the way. Thank you very much. Happy Memorial Day, everybody. Memorial Day weekend. I'd like to, before I get started, take just a moment of silence to recognize our military people that did not return from the wars that they served in. So if we could just spend a moment. We recognize that many of them may be here with us today. So just in recognition. Is anybody here for the first time today? Oh, wonderful. Welcome, welcome. Well, the SCSCMA, as I refer to it, Southern Cassadaga Spiritualist Camp Meeting Association, has a rich history as an organization. We've existed since 1894, and we're here to further the teachings of spiritualism as a religion, a philosophy, and a science. Now, although it was founded to continue spiritualism down here in the South, the energy here of this place, and you may be able to relate to that, some of you that are here for the first time, I have talked to so many people that it's the energy that brought them here, and that they were not so much searching for communication with a deceased loved one as they are searching for communication with their own soul, with their own inner being. And they're drawn here because of that. And, you know, Christina mentioned that I work in the office for the last couple of years. I had heard this quite often, you know, just as a member being around. But I'm amazed at how many times in a week I get a phone call from people all over the world, many different states, and they almost use the same exact words. And that is, I'm being prompted, I'm being guided, I'm being led to be there. And I can feel it. You know, I spent a lot of time training my sensitivities, so I can feel it in their words, that there's something here that they feel is going to feed their soul. And so in that way, I am very honored to be here, and I make it such a part of my life to try to support Cassadaga. So I welcome you all, specifically the ones that are here for the first time. I hope that you have a good experience while you're here. My position in the camp puts me on the front line to feel a lot of that energy from people. And not only are they calling and they're saying, you know, they want to know more, particularly about this community, but it's something more than that. And it only confirms to me what I know myself, because 30 years ago, I've been around here for 30 years. At least, I think in fact 2021 is 30 years from the date I joined this organization, and I have seen this over and over again, that people come here when they're awakening within themselves, when their spirit is awakening. And I have personally benefited from many of the teachers that are here in ways that they can't even imagine. They've affected me. Now I'm going to speak today from my own personal perspective as a student for certification, as a member for a long time, and as an employee here. I've been inspired by various philosophies that I was introduced to here. Not necessarily was it the history of how we got here as an organization, but the history of our spiritual nature. You know, I'm more drawn to work with angelic presences and earth energies than anything else, and that's what I center my work around. But various philosophies are introduced here as well. We have a phenomenal bookstore. I don't know if those of you that are here for the first time, please avail yourself of a little time in the bookstore. But different philosophies that all come back to the same notion that we are spiritual beings having a human experience more so than a human being looking for our spiritual experience. And that, when I really realized that for myself, it changed everything. Changed everything about how I think about my world out here. And I've learned through, when you're a student here, you do a lot of training and a lot of studying and a lot of reading, because you have to turn in a report every 6 months. It says what you've been doing. So I've read a lot about different philosophies. I've tried practicing a lot of different philosophies, but I always come back to a personal practice of my own that's sort of a conglomeration of all of those things, something I learned from all of those things. But what's really made the difference to me is that personal practice. So I still to this day am sitting in circles and classes. I highly recommend that. If you're being drawn here, is to find yourself a good spiritual circle to sit with, because that development of who you are as a spiritual being is really what happens there. And there's a lot of self-healing that I have experienced myself, and that has to do with, when you sit in a meditation class week after week and you're being asked to look at things within yourself for healing, a lot comes up. And a lot of it happens after I go home, or, back in the day when I was working and living a long ways away. I might be gone for several months at a time, but that whole time something was happening that had begun in that healing that I had asked for here in these classes. And with the help of the teachers and their guidance, and the fact that they're willing to share their experiences and what has benefited them has guided me along in my own path. There's no shortcut. This organization has an amazing curriculum that has been developed over the years to teach people not only about spiritualism, which is our roots, which is why we're here, but spiritualism that was born at the end of the 1800s is continuing, in my mind anyway, is continuing to develop into what we're doing here today. Spiritualism today is helping those of us who are sitting here today. How is it helping you in your life? How is it helping you to feel more comfortable? I don't know about you, but I think the world we're living in right now is a pretty scary place sometimes. There's a lot of really crazy things going out there in the world that I never thought I would see in my lifetime, but here we are. And I don't feel like I have a lot of control over that in the large, but I certainly have a lot of control over how I react to it and how I live with it. And personally, speaking from my own experience, utilizing some of the techniques such as beautiful meditation that Christina did for us. Again, back to the studying. If we study contemporary teachers today, I could name off a few that are, let me skip something. I skipped over something. A lot of times, and later on today, I predict that you're going to hear somebody say something about your frequency or your vibration. They're going to say that. I know it. I've heard it 30 years that we work off of vibration. And when I give you a message, I'm going to ask to hear your voice first. And why am I going to do that? Because I want to hook onto your frequency and your vibration of who you are. So that's how we all know each other. I loved Christina's example of how when you're sending love, that your auras are mixing together with each other. So we're all one big soup of energy right now, all sitting here together. And there's a huge power in that if you focus it for good. And so part of the training that honestly say came to me as a result of sitting in development circles with so many different people and so many different teachers over the years. That is the main thing it has taught me for myself, is how to really get quiet within myself and ask Spirit, or the angels actually, we all have angels. I got to get the angels in here. We all have them. We're born with some of them that are dedicated to our whole life, but we have to ask for their intervention. We have to ask for them to step in and show us and give us messages. So ask your angels on a daily basis. I'm kind of off track there with that, but I had to throw that out there. Spiritual healing for me is the mediumship that I feel most excited about. I'm a senior level student at this moment. I hope to have that certification soon, but it'll come whenever it comes. I'm not attached to that. But what I value about that is the service that I am able to provide to others. And there's no words necessary. There's no coming through symbols. It's just conducting that energy, being a conduit, and allowing it to come through me to those who are receptive to it. Our forefathers included many examples of phenomenal spiritual healers. I can't, in a small amount of time, give you a history lesson about all of them, but I could and would like to name a few because I think some of you might want to go do some research on your own. And one of the most famous spiritual healers in this tradition would be Harry Edwards. And there are whole healing centers around that are dedicated to the work that he did. But he's like the shoulders that we stand on today. He has done a wonderful job of teaching people that it's possible and demonstrating what is possible with spiritual healing. But today, in this time, we all have the benefit of even more discoveries in what we would call science. Now, I think I mentioned at the beginning that spiritualism is a science, a philosophy, and a religion. That really attracted me at the very beginning when I was learning and coming here for the first time, because I really like to investigate scientific things. I like to read about the newest discoveries and find out what's going on in the scientific world. And I can tell you that it's so exciting because now it's coming together with the spiritual world. And it's like science is, that's why that works. In the spiritual side, as far as teachers today in the field of resonance sciences and quantum physics and epigenetics, are all fields that are very spiritual in nature, but they're proving out in the scientific world that, in fact, we are spiritual beings living in a physical environment. And to me, I find that a wonderful confirmation to what I have been feeling spiritually for, many, many years. So I think we're living in an extraordinarily exciting time as well. Our world offers demonstration that if we all sit together and we join our spiritual energies together and we focus on peace. There's experiments that have been done in different parts of the world at specific times. Large groups of people get together, or they don't even have to get together nowadays. You can join together on Zoom or just be at a particular state of mind at a particular time. And they're joining in, focusing, like Christina's beautiful meditation of focusing on sending the energy out to where it's most needed. And then statistically keeping track of things like crimes and deaths and all kinds of negative things, as well as positive things, to measure in those areas that were being sent this beautiful energy. Was there a difference? And they're showing it in the statistical measurements that there is a measurable difference for the positive when people join together for that reason And for that intention, here's the big word, intention. One of the very first things I learned here during mediumship classes and lectures and over the many years is that energy moves with our intention. And so therefore that makes it all. I mean, if your intention is for healing, you can't go wrong with anything you're sending because of such a positive intention that you hold. So it's important. And another thing that I would like to share that I have learned is that we bring our energy with us where we go. In whatever state of mind, people can feel it. People can know. And in there, everybody has a bad day, and everybody has great days. But I think that we're moving into a world where people can be a little more aware of their own personal energy and be more responsible about the energy you bring to an interaction. So think about, I don't know if any of you have heard of a doctor by the name of Jill Bolte Taylor. She's a neurosurgeon, I believe, or some kind of brain doctor. And she had a massive stroke that took out the entire left side of her brain for a period of time. And in that period of time, when she was only in her right brain, you can read about her. She has a great TED Talk on TED. But when she was in that period of time, when she was only in her right brain, she was feeling everything. She couldn't think or count or, have any kind of analytical, but she was feeling. If the nurse had a bad day and they were coming in, she could feel the pain of that energy coming at her. So it's a real thing that at one point they put a sign up, or I don't know if she asked for it or someone put a sign up on the outside of her room to be responsible before you come in this room with your energy, with your state of mind. And so therefore, if you're upset, go calm down a little before you come in here, because this person is very sensitive. Isn't that amazing? But that was as much as had to be done, as the people coming to her just had to be conscious of the fact that their energy could be felt by her. And so we're all like that. We all have a left and a right brain, where those things are working ideally at the same time. But part of us is feeling that all the time. And so to be aware that it's going to affect how you feel as well. And so, have you ever had a time when someone in a really bad mood comes up and all of a sudden you feel like you're kind of grouchy too? We're like little sponges, and that right brain of ours is going to take that energy in. But then if you're positive and you've done a little work on yourself before you left in the morning about being positive in everything you do, having the intention. I ask my angels every single day when I get in the car, clear my way, make it so that there be no disturbances. Now, I started that because I used to have a long commute, and it was, a drive that I was trying to clear. But then I realized over time that it was also clearing up other things, interactions with people that could have been less than positive. Something would intervene, something would just change. Maybe it was me, maybe it was my awareness. But anyway, just the awareness of your energy, and just the awareness of what you bring to any particular interaction, whether it be with a human or an animal or a place, that you have control over what you bring there. And we just use our breath. Again, your meditation was amazingly perfect to go with what I wanted to say, was just having the intention to be grounded right here and right now. Use your breath. Have the intention. Because, once again, our leaders in our world today, they need some positive bolstering. They need something to help them make choices on our behalf that are going to benefit our world and are going to bring us to a better place. One of the doctors that I want to plug because he's just amazing, and because he's easily accessible through YouTube. Personally, again, I want to go back to that, my own journey through this process of learning about mental mediumship, demonstrating mental mediumship, and healing has first of all had an effect on me. And so just by going through the exercises and the processes, I can't even tell you what a different person. I mean, I guess that's true for all of us. None of us are the same person that we were 25 years ago or so. But I know certain things about me that are not true anymore that were, and that needed to be healed, happened because of a class or a conversation or a sharing that happened here. So I cannot support that enough to tell you that beautiful things happen here. And we love new people coming in. There's always room in classes for new faces, and the organization as a whole survives on our membership and those that want to pitch in and want to help. And so if any of those things are occurring to you right now, I encourage you to let somebody know that, or come to more of our functions, and we will welcome you in. So, frequency and vibration, Joe Dispenza. I got off the track again. Dr. Joe Dispenza is working with people today, one-on-one or in large, huge groups. But he talks about the frequency and vibration of the trauma that we all go through. I mean, we don't escape this life without some trauma somewhere. And trauma is an energetic thing. And it's gonna, if it's not dealt with in the moment, it's going to be stored to be dealt with some other time. It's going to come up. And we are living in a time, our whole planet, our whole universe, if you do the research, is going through unprecedented changes. All the planets are going through. It's amazing. But it's pretty, in my opinion, naive to think that we could live in this world, on a planet that's going through what this planet is going through and not be affected. As electromagnetic beings, we have to be affected. And I know how it affects me. It affects me with tenseness, with anxiety over what's to come, worry. Those are all things that we all go through every day. But if I remember, okay, angels, help me out here. Surround me. Spirit loved ones. The doctors and the teachers that are on the other side. They're all there, and they need to be called on in order to help you, to help us all get through this time that we're living in and birth a new and a better world for all of us. And while we're learning about the power of using a visualized color, I mean, doesn't that sound crazy? That just visualizing a color could actually make a big difference. But visualizing green, healing energy around somebody or around yourself, you can feel it. Pink for the heart, love, you can feel it with the color. So that's all accessible to all of us. We can all dress in the color that we want to be with, or carry a crystal. I actually do have a crystal in my pocket. You don't think I'm telling the truth. Let's see. Green for healing. So there's a lot of things that we can do for ourselves, because I think that in today's age, we got to heal ourselves first. We're our own best project. Whether it be our physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, etheric, whatever body that is. Wherever we're holding the trauma, we just need to be releasing it and working with musical notes, for crying out loud. I mean, that's a frequency and a vibration that's almost too simple to see. I mean, it's all around us all the time. But if you're intentional with the tones and the music that you listen to, it opens you up. It really does. It really does. Even music, and to me, music that has no words is even better. And I've had many a day where the waterworks just explode. And there's no music, there's no words there to prompt anything, any, memories or anything. It's just the frequency of the music. And nowadays, I know Soundly carries quite a few biofeedback, or they call hemisync, or where the tones are helping to balance the left and right brain, which brings us in balance and makes us feel less tense, less concerned about out there, and more at peace. So I would highly recommend that you work some of that in to your own personal practice. And again, that's been the most helpful thing to me, is having a personal daily practice that I try. I'm not successful every day, but I do try every day to have at least a little bit of time for spirit, and to sit with intention, and to project, the light where I want it to be. That's a service, in my opinion, that we could all serve each other in that way. A quote from Jesus in Luke was, "Physician, heal thyself." So this is not something new that I'm talking about. It's the healing needs to occur within ourselves. Our first principle that we all read together a while ago was, we believe in infinite intelligence. Infinite intelligence. And that we believe that the phenomenon of nature, both physical and spiritual, are the expression of infinite intelligence. We're natural. We are the expression of infinite intelligence. So therefore, as infinite beings, we can express infinite intelligence. But we forget, and we're trained to not think of ourselves as infinite spiritual beings. But I would challenge you to try to discover that within yourself. We put on this human suit for a little while, but we all know as spiritualists that we don't die. Our spirit goes on, and it can communicate, and that's demonstrated through spiritualism. So, my personal request to all of you, thank you all for sitting and listening to me speak, would be to wake up who you really are. Think about who you really are sitting here, this energy being, this infinite being that you are. Think about how amazing our body systems are, and appreciate that within yourself. We live in a world of opposite polarities, and we have to find our way to stay in balance between the two. And for me, spiritualism and my association with sitting in a class, being with like-minded people, has helped me to find my own sovereign self, to find my own self within all the belief systems that we all have. Part of that healing is examining where all that comes from and seeing how much of it is yours and how much of it was because somebody else told you that that's how it's supposed to be. And then go within. Maybe it is true, but maybe it isn't for you. And a lot of healing that I have experienced myself has been exactly that. And it's going through the expectations that I have of myself, the expectations that I think all of you have of me, are all part of how I've been trained to think. And I'm willing to re-examine those things. And some of them I still hold on to. I think they're still true for me. But now I know it's true for me because I choose it to be true for me. And not true for me because I'm living under the expectations of somebody else. And so I think it's a time that we are all to be sovereign in ourselves and to decide what is good for me, what is for my highest and best, because when I'm taking care of what's in here, I'm radiating out here what's good out there, because we're projecting this all, folks. We're all we get to see, we get to experience what is in us out here. That's part of that philosophy that if, I don't even remember where it was exactly I came to that realization, but that is true. We're creative beings, and we tend to create the scenarios that we either are afraid we're going to have or we really, really want to have. And that's an amazing thing. So create your own experiences. In principle number 7, we affirm the moral responsibility of the individual and that he makes his own happiness or unhappiness as he obeys or disobeys nature's physical and spiritual laws. That's what I love about spiritualism. There's some real nuggets in those principles that you can use when you're going through your day to decide for yourself. Examine your own beliefs. Identify what's true for you. Maybe you want to be an angel person too. You know, they used to call me an angel lady. I did a lot more out here than I do now. But that's still true to me today. They're still a very big part of how my philosophy works in life, and I call on them every single day. And it could be the angels that you know in the holy writings. It could be my little dog. I think he's an angel. My cats are angels. They're all angels. You're all angels, in my opinion. But they are there in the etheric, as well as your spirit guides, as well as your loved ones, are waiting on you to acknowledge them. And they're waiting on you to sit quiet long enough to hear them. You know, just a little bit to hear them, and then act on it. You know, take what you feel is good advice, and then make an action. So, the world is waking up. Say no to what doesn't serve you, and you're taking your power back. We're all taking our power back. And to finish this, I would like to say that joining our energies and focusing our mental healing together, we can create amazing things on the planet. And so, you know, if you don't want to sit in a group circle where two or more are gathered, right? The energy is exponentially increased when we work together, and when we pray together, or when we meditate together, or when we visualize together. So if you're so guided, find a circle to sit in, or join our Zoom meetings. And remember that energy moves with intention, and keep your intentions high. And I thank you all for listening to me this morning.
I'm pretty sure you nailed it. Thank you for the reminder that our energy does go with us everywhere, and thank you all for sharing in that and giving me a bit of yours. Our journey, all of our journeys, did bring us here today for this message, to hear it and to listen to it and hear it, because there is a difference in my humble opinion. Glasses? I know the print's super big, but sorry. There is a prosperity basket in the back. Actually, it's a beautiful prosperity bowl. And our live stream viewers may visit our website, cassadaga.org, and click the donate button. We thank you in advance for your generosity. And the funds are used to keep this building and all of the other camp activities up and running. So we're going to say a little prayer to thank. So take an attitude of prayer, please. Dear God, we sit in gratitude for the gifts left in the prosperity bowl, and pray for abundance and joy abound from their gifts and the giver. Amen. All right. Almost done. All right, announcements. Next Wednesday, June 2nd. I know, don't blink, right? Our message bearer for our demonstration of service spirit will be Robin. Woohoo! Next Sunday, join us on June 6th. The speaker for the Sunday service will be Reverend Dr. Phil DeLong. And every Sunday we have Adult Lyceum, known as Sunday School, from 9:30 to 10:15 in this room. Next Sunday, our Lyceum speaker will be Reverend Dr. Lewis Gates. And to participate in absentee healing, please print the first name and first initial of the last name of a loved one, or even a pet, in our healing book. Back table, little wooden table there. And every Thursday morning, a healing meditation circle is held from 11 o'clock to noon in this building, and healing is sent to all of those on the absentee healing list. Everyone is welcome to attend. This service, as well as the Sunday Lyceum and Sunday service, are live streamed through Facebook and the YouTube channel. And at the entrance, we have our Sunday bulletin, show and tell, where to go, and our activities for the month. Please take these home with you. There's a boatload of them. All right, what else do we have? A medicine bag workshop. Ooh, today from 2 to 4 in this room, presented by Reverend Dr. Lewis Gates, $25. The workshop is a hands-on event where each participant will create a basic shaman medicine bag. Medicine bag is an ancient energy tool used once only by the spiritual leaders and healers of a community. Our new member orientation is also today from 1 to 1:30 in the Welcome Center, which is just a few steps from here. Next Sunday, June 5th, Meet Your Angels with Reverend Judy Weaver from 1:30 to 3:30. Angels are among us. I know, right?
There you go.
Didn't we just hear this? Yeah, I'm a good listener. Guardian angels, archangels, Michael, Ariel, Gabriel, Ariel, Raphael, Ezekiel. There's a whole list of them here. You get it? And our website, Cassadaga.org, also has monthly information as well as upcoming events. And at this time, we'd like to thank our live stream viewers for joining us today, and we look forward to spending time with you again. See ya.